Well, we are on to the final game of the day. Remember, we're going to go ahead and raid GDQ after this final match. We have various people within the community who are playing over there this weekend. Early in the morning, 4:30 a.m. Tomorrow, Sharif is playing Axe Battler Legend of Golden Axe. And Wednesday night, Flannel Cat going to be playing some Yolanda. Thursday morning, we've got Corndan playing Battle of the Eras. We've got Wolf playing a game that I can't pronounce. That is a Korean bootleg. We've got, I'm sure there are other people I'm forgetting, but I know that, like, I'm Going to Die If I Don't Eat Sushi is going to be there. That will be a lot of fun. So seriously, everybody, I want to support the bad game block. That's going to be a lot of fun. Crappy, how about you go ahead and support our souls and take us on to the final game of the day? Crappy, get to work. Come on, start walking. Yeah, there we go. Past Japanese Spider-Man, a good Spider-Man, but a Spider-Man nonetheless. Say hello to the last GM of the weekend, our friend Temp. I almost said Tempestrol. No, Tempestrol's a player, not a GM. Tymestalker, hello there. Come on in. Oh my gosh, it's good to have you. How are you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Bro Sentra?
Going well. I am very excited for this. This is going to be... wait, no. What the crap? What are you giving out? I'm not excited about this. I'm angry, as a matter of fact. I have beaten the Super Nintendo version of this game, and I'm taking it personal that you're giving this game out to people.
Oh, well, they vetoed my first game, so... they get
this.
This was next on the list, but I feel bad that people are going to be eliminated from this group, because I just have to shout out to them, because they've been hysterical in the match room for this last hour over this game.
That's good. Well, I'm glad that people are able to take it well. Honestly, like, I'm really glad that we didn't have, like, a complete rage quit during the last match, and instead got to see some faceball being played. Like, there's sometimes that things just don't work out for you, and as long as you can sort of just keep a little bit of your spirits high and just keep doing something, then that's always good. I feel like we're going to destroy some souls with this game. What do we have?
Well, we have a video game based off a cartoon from my childhood, actually. Used to watch this all the time.
My father used to watch this all the time, and then had us watching. I'm like, it's okay. I don't really like the main part.
It also had a very weird live-action movie. If you've never seen that, it is incredible. But this is the Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends on the Genesis.
We've had the Super Nintendo version before. I honestly do not know how the audio for the Genesis version compares. That's the only thing that I'm interested in learning, though. Literally all I care.
I believe part of the discussion in this was how bad the audio was. Like, one person said, I regret unmuting this game.
Oh my gosh. Well, I regretted... Oh, the Super Nintendo version was so bad. I really hate it.
Too. This is very bad.
Yeah, I will let you know if if the audio is worse. Okay.
I'm fairly sure it is.
There we go.
Because you have the Genesis sound chip.
Well, I mean, yeah, but the Genesis chip can have good music. And the farts are only because that was the main, easiest way to do it due to somebody developing a good sound system for the Genesis. I'm going to go ahead and say that I will not judge until I hear it, and then I will judge it. I will very judge it, okay? Yo, bring out my gavel, okay? Anybody have a gavel? I'll just whack the desk with anything, okay? Bam. It has been judged. Well, no, that will be what I will say in the future. Judgment done. Okay, let's turn this crap up and see what it sounds like. Just making sure, let me go and check to make sure that I have the right person for audio here. I'm always a little bit out of it. I do, good. Hey, I actually...
I did say this in the match room, but I did say I think this is the worst audio I've given out in the 4 rounds so far.
Okay. I don't know how I feel yet. Okay. This is pretty bad, though. This is very squishy. How is it so squishy?
I have no idea.
Now, even like the flying sounds here. Squishy. Why is it squishy? Yeah, where are they all starting when it comes to...
They should just be on the title.
Okay, I am going to just do the countdown. So, doing the countdown! Yeah, everybody, get all of your soulless emotes ready. Okay, if you have anything Rocky and Bullwinkle, if you have any pretty flowers, you're gonna see a lot of flowers.
Flowers, flags, rocks, minecarts, because we are going to have a minecart stage.
Oh, you don't say, you don't say.
Assuming anybody can get there. I'm assuming people will.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see the minecart stage. I'd be shocked if we don't. With that said,
as the minecart stage, so
I've beaten the Super Nintendo version. So, okay, there we go. We've got some people starting. Everybody, yeah, I love the emotes coming in. We've got some regret emotes, and I love them. Bring in all of the regret. Oh, baby. Rocky and Bullwinkle for Genesis. Wow, okay,
so
that farted a lot.
First problem with climbing this thing. The ground only goes back down so far, so if you get up too high and jump off and fall, you're just gonna fall into nothing, even though there was ground there before.
Yep. It is very much an issue. Bright Shadow tanking a lot of damage, and that is not really a viable strat in this game.
No, you can dodge by moving to the right to hang on the front of the cliff.
If you push right while you're climbing, you sort of can dodge things that are going to hit you in your main path. There we go, Bright Shadow dead. Let me crank this audio up. I think y'all need to hear it a little bit more. If I have to hear it, so do you.
Yeah. One of the things to note is Bullwinkle's head attack only works while Bullwinkle is on the ground. If he's in the air, or if the enemy is too high in the air, it will not hit it.
There's a lot of stuff that it just doesn't work right in this game. However, what you see, they're also collecting a whole bunch of berries, and the berries that they collect can be used as weapons. CatRelatedPun already hates this game, and I do not blame them.
I don't know if those are berries or baubles or something, because they break when they hit things.
I think they're called mooseberries, if I'm not mistaken. Either mooseberries or gooseberries. I'm not 100% sure. Ah, death by rock!
I'll say this. As a kid, I really enjoyed the Rocky and Bullwinkle series, very specifically stuff that came along with it. I mean, Rocky and Bullwinkle was always a bit,
But, it is like, the most mediocre. Like, by today's standards, so mediocre.
Oh, and adult me agrees. Like, you kidding me? I enjoyed it. I really did fine. like Fractured Fairy Tales. And I did like the Underdog.
Oh, come on. Dudley Do-Right. That was like the only decent thing about it. Wait,
no,
Underdog? Underdog is good.
Underdog was
I forgot.
Dudley Do-Right was okay.
What do you mean Dudley Do-Right was the best part? Seriously, Dudley Do-Right, Underdog, I forgot was part of it. Underdog is great, okay? And the rest, you can just go ahead and leave in the past, okay? You can go ahead and forget about it. Peabody and Sherman, They were okay.
I never did care for them.
Yeah, they're both nerds. I don't want to watch nerds. I'm a nerd. I can just look in the mirror if I want a nerd.
Is it bad that if this had been there was worse on my list? No, this is this I only found out about within the last year, and oh lord, I hate this game so much.
Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna go ahead and communicate with Third Tail. It looks like their stream is down currently, and hopefully we can get it back up and running.
Where do I stand on George of the Jungle? I was never a fan.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of George of the Jungle.
I liked the movies. I didn't really see the cartoon when I was young, but the live-action movie, freaking amazing.
I've never seen the live-action movie. I will say this, George of the Jungle has a great theme song.
Has what?
A great theme song.
Well, yeah, watch out for that tree, you know, that's all you need to know. Okay, so there are plenty of collectibles in this game. You'll notice a lot of sunflowers. The sunflowers are your health. When you have 5 at the top, you have no sunflowers left, you lose a number on the sunflower. That's your lives. If you see it, MisterZimbu currently has 1, brightshadow 0, thethirdtail 0, CatRelatedPun 0. This is going to be an experience.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, thethirdtail's OBS crashed for a little bit, but they are back and playing. So, good. Yeah, the computer decided that this game was too bad to keep playing. CatRelatedPun into the second level. This is a very clear lead here, and welcome to the worst.
Yeah, I would actually call this 1-2, but yes, I agree. This is inside the mountain. And how do you like flying jumps?
I've played this game. I would actually say that I like... Technically, they're not blind jumps if you are patient.
Oh, there's a couple of them that are actually blind jumps that you don't... I've
got away
this quite a bit, but like there are at least 1 or 2 where you cannot see below you and you have to kind of jump down and guess.
The speed run of this level is actually pretty cool though, because you do blind jumps all over the place.
Yeah, the speed run is very neat.
I mean, compared to the game itself, yeah, it's very, very neat. By the way, the sunflowers do heal you. The flags that you see collected, they're tracked at the bottom left, and those actually will give you an extra life if you collect enough. I believe it's 15, but it might be 30.
I think it's 30, because I've collected 15 and I did not get an extra life.
Okay. I'm trying to remember, because I definitely use that in order to, like, beat the game, because you have limited continues, you have limited hope. All you have is Bullwinkle.
Yeah, there's only 3 continues in this game.
And it's so hard! This game is so hard!
Unnecessarily hard, too.
What just popped up? Oh my gosh, okay. My apologies, everybody. Welcome to This is the Last Match of the Myth.
There, CatRelatedPun got to the section where you have to start doing platforming on these insanely tiny platforms. Oh, yeah. And yes, some of these platforms fall.
Well, yeah, you gotta pay attention. The platforms that fall are slightly different colored. You can usually, like, you have to be patient. Luckily, in this game, you do not have a timer.
Yeah.
Oh.
And sometimes the platforms are desynced, and you have to wait a cycle before they can sync up. Like CatRelatedPun just found out. CatRelatedPun just said in the match room, if you're a GM and I've complained about your game before, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, this, like, honestly, this is hot punishment. Like, the unfortunate thing about this game compared to the NES game is very, very bad, but almost comedically bad. This is like the level of bad where everything just feels like it's out to punish you, like it punishes you for playing this game.
Yeah. Someone in the match room commented that the funniest thing about the manual is that they were saying if the cartridge was broken to send in $25 to get a new one. They're saying as if the cartridge wasn't going to be broken intentionally, and that they wouldn't want another one. And this was without playing the game.
Okay, here are my thoughts. The music, I wouldn't say is necessarily better or worse on this version. It's different. Honestly, the only reason I kind of enjoy it, I would say, is that, like, at least it's not the Super Nintendo version, because I've heard that one way too much. But I wouldn't say that it's necessarily better or worse if I'm trying to think objectively. It's just, it's here. Not only that, but it sounds a lot like Tchaikovsky music, which sucks anyway. Like, gotta be honest. Tchaikovsky, yeah, you had a chance as a composer, but what did you make? Freaking made freaking Nutcracker. Who cares about the Nutcracker?
I like the Nutcracker.
Well, okay. You and I have different tastes, my friend.
Well, I mean, we've established this.
I'm actually, okay, I'm okay with it existing. If somebody is in the ballet The Nutcracker, I will go and watch it. And there are a few actual legit gems, but there's a lot that's just like, I don't know.
And that is a full game over for CatRelatedPun. They are back to the start.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
Early lead for
yeah,
them.
Go ahead. Imagine forming your whole impression of composer because of one ballet, Tymestalker. You haven't been around this stream enough if you think that's what I'm complaining about, only the Nutcracker. I hate Tchaikovsky because literally only the Nutcracker. No, seriously. As soon as you hear Tchaikovsky, as soon as I hear classical music, or anything that sounds like classical music that is mediocre to, like, I just want to listen to something else, it's Tchaikovsky every single time. Even if I don't like it, it's super important for art. Yeah, if you like garbage art, sure. Go ahead. Yeah, Latrinalia, that's where Tchaikovsky's music... You know what? Go ahead and play it in the toilet. Yeah, you can play this, and guess what? People will be happy to listen to their neighbors, you know, just farting a whole bunch.
So CatRelatedPun found out that you could flip through the mountain and died, so they restarted.
People are now accusing me of not liking ballet. I like ballet, okay? I think ballet is heckin' neato. Uh-oh, people are saying that the logo looks a lot like Capstone. Tempestral, you are correct. I think it's Capstone. Although I don't think Capstone I'm a little bit confused because I didn't know Capstone made this game. But wait, no, it's Absolute? What the heck? Is it not Capstone?
They were saying it's Absolute.
Fine. Okay, taking a look. Absolute definitely did this one. Okay, thank you, Absolute Entertainment, for absolute garbage. With that said, like, here's the deal. Obviously, it's easier to make a game sell. It's easier to make it sail in the water if it has enough air inside the cartridge when you throw it in there. Freaking Rocky and Bullwinkle, just full of hot air. No, it's easier to make a game sell if it is based off of something that people know. Okay, whether you like it or not, that's how we work. Our brains are like, oh, there's a cartoon that I know. Rocky and Bullwinkle was kind of a dead franchise by the time the Super Nintendo came around. Like, nothing new was coming out for it, which was fine. Okay, it had its life, but then this company came around, they're like, oh, $5 to get the rights to make a game for it? Sure, let's go ahead and pay that. And so they did. Actually, it was probably more than that, but whatever. I imagine it wasn't the most expensive video game license ever purchased. Anyways, the thing is, like, you could have potentially brought about a Rocky and Bullwinkle renaissance, but no. Freaking Absolute is like, let's go ahead and make the crappiest game off of something that should be dead by now. Okay, and let's just go ahead and dance on its grave. Oh, MisterZimbu finding out about the dropping platforms, the bigger platforms there.
Right. But at least he landed safely.
That's not a death.
One of the things that really irritates me about this section is the jumping is very wobbly in this game. Like, you don't really have precise control of your jump. You have a little bit of precise control, but and the other thing is those platforms that drop dip down first, so if you don't wait for them to come back up, sometimes you just can't make your jump very well.
Yeah, one risky thing about, like, any of the platforms moving here is that they feel unintuitive the way that you jump off of them. If the platform is moving up, you do not jump off of it expecting you get extra height, because you do not. Instead, it feels like you get extra height when the platforms are moving down. Is that logical? I don't know, Mr. Peabody. Tell me about freaking science, man. Freaking science, dog. Science, man. I don't know who Mr. Peabody is. Mr. Peabody, the kid or the dog? Neither of them are misters. One's a kid and one's a dog. I mean, I guess you can be a mister if you want to be a mister. It's fine. I accept it, but I still hate them. Hey, MisterZimbu is through the platforming section onto the nightmare that is the minecart stage. If you don't die, yeah, that last alien at the end has killed people during Kusog7ande before.
Okay, and now this section is horrendous.
Well, yeah.
Like, I've played bad minecart sections before. This trumps most of them that I've played, just because it requires so much memorization, it requires so much precision, and if you miss at all, you do what MisterZimbu did and just fall straight through the floor.
Yeah, I would say that, like, I agree with you, and, like, there's one minecart section that in a game that I think is more BS than this, specifically, what is it called? It's also on Genesis.
Are you thinking of X Mutants?
No, not mutants at all. It's got pirates in it, and it's outside. No, Tasmania's better than this, like minecart section wise, anyway. Cutthroat Island. That's right.
Yeah,
and the only reason I would say that is probably better, quote unquote, is that it is shorter. Yeah. It is much shorter.
The horrendous part of the minecart section is when you get to those ends and you're falling, because you have to time your jump to hit the next minecart or you're gonna miss it, and you have to do it while not being able to see the next minecart until you're almost literally on top of it.
Yeah, the thing is, MisterZimbu keeps jumping out of the minecart, and honestly, I understand the reaction. What you want to do is duck during these early sections. Stop jumping, just be patient, duck. Do not jump until you fall far enough, because the screen will stop scrolling after a point if you jump too early. Why? Yeah, because they programmed this game like they wanted you to suffer.
They programmed it like it was an arcade game and they were trying to munch quarters.
No, they programmed this like they had no idea what they were doing, or because their manager was like, hey, you know what? I hate children. And so let's go ahead and let's make a video game for children based off an IP from my adulthood, and that is from my childhood, and that is the ultimate joke. I'm not gonna play this. The kids will play it. And the kids will suffer, and I will laugh. Okay,
no,
see, that's the ultimate metagame.
Just barely saw the platform in time to land on it. I don't know why we have aliens here. Like, I don't even remember aliens from the TV show. So, if there were, I don't remember them. But we have aliens in mind. Yeah, but Bright Shadow is now onto the minecart as well. And this was one of my favorite things, because they mentioned the minecart in the manual, and that the reaction from CatRelatedPun when they saw that was just, oh no.
Oh, this is farting so much.
Botman says that they're the Moon Men. I don't remember them from the show, so I don't know. Like, they may have been part of it, and I may have just not remembered it, because I don't remember so much about this show.
Okay, I really enjoy watching MisterZimbu do all of this unnecessary platforming. However, collecting flags will get you extra lives, and extra lives can come in handy if you want to be able to make progress in this game. It's not the worst idea.
Yeah, and the other way to get extra lives and continues was the mini games, and I specifically told them no on those.
No mini games. Yeah, in the past, I think that when we've had the Super Nintendo version, we did allow them. I didn't explicitly tell them yes or no. I was like, if you wish to play them, you can. It's up to you. And some people did grind out a few extra lives so that they could tackle the main portion of this game.
And we lost the third tail again.
I'm betting third tail's game, or OBS crashed again. By the way, what are the stakes for this match? It looks like the players have 22 points.
It said it was a 21-22 match, so I do not know who has 21 or 22, but if we have like a 21 win and a 22 take second, we'd have two people that could possibly move on between first and tie breaks. But I don't know are they all 22s?
As far as I can see, it is all 22s, which means that whoever comes in third will hit 29 points, be entered in for the tiebreaker if we do have a tiebreaker. And honestly, the more people we have with 29 points, the more likely we will be doing a tiebreaker, because that means we'll have fewer people with 30 points.
So CatRelatedPun was up in the top portion of things, missed a jump, fell. I thought they were dead for sure, and they landed on a platform way below.
Yeah, that's one thing that is slightly redeemable about this cave section. And that's what makes speedrunning kind of fun, because you don't have to do this whole upper section that CatRelatedPun is going through now. Instead, you do a leap of faith to the right, but because you have played the game a billion times, you get to land on one of the platforms that's out of sight. And it's like,
yeah,
kudos, you just did that. I still hate this game so much. Like,
you and me both. Like, this is not a fun, pleasant experience of a game.
Yeah. But no, I would say that, like, here's the deal. The game functions as a game. You can beat this game. It technically is a game. The art isn't the most hideous art I have seen, okay? For Super Nintendo, it's almost okay. Make the sprites maybe half the size that they are. Make it so that you can actually see where you're going. And visibly, it would probably be 100% okay by me. It's got the cartoony look. It's fine visually. Like, I've never had the game crash. Honestly, lag's never really been a problem. I feel like it's programmed well. I feel like they did their best to recreate the music that they were tasked with recreating. I'm not sure which they made first, the Super Nintendo or the Genesis version, but like the songs sound the same. They recreated it, and like, so technically it kind of works. It's just, I don't know. It is.
Yeah.
There are so many things that aren't okay, and it's almost always a problem with management. Considering that this is absolute entertainment, though, looking at the repertoire, they don't exactly have the best games in their history. I mean, you've got Star Trek games, David Crane's games, although A Boy and His Blob is pretty cool. Family Dog,
I like the Blob.
Simpsons, Bartman meets Radioactive Man. Toys? Have you played freaking Toys for Super
Nope,
Nintendo? Good. Don't. Space Ace. Have you played the Super Nintendo version of Space Ace?
I made people play it for April Fools.
It's
I
not
did it
good.
with Infinite Lives. I did it with Infinite Lives, so people weren't going back to the start.
Oh my gosh, you gave them infinite lives. You are so nice.
Yeah, well, that's what I do for my races when I did those. I didn't want people starting over.
Maybe next time we have that on Kusog7ande, we need to do the same thing, because holy crap. No! Cat-related pun! That is a cat-related death.
Well, yeah, but that is second place for CatRelatedPun.
Yeah, that might have actually been first. I don't know if MisterZimbu made it that far in the minecart section.
But yeah, one of the things that just I didn't realize or remember about this game because I kind of skipped the in-between scenes. But they talked about the cave section, and they said, "Wow, you made it through that. I guess we should have made that section more difficult." I'm like, what a kick in the teeth!
On my teeth.
But CatRelatedPun is starting by having as many continues as they do in this section. They're able to learn it a little bit better, which is good. Because a lot of this is memorization, especially on the falling, because you don't know which side you need to jump to at first.
Yeah, Codeman, by the way, is saying that Absolute's development studio, Imagineering, did a bunch of contract work. If you have been around Kusog7ande for a long time, you know Imagineering. Again, like, a lot of games share a lot of the same sounds, a lot of the same sound effects, some of the same visuals, and, well, that was a good job, Bright Shadow. Good job.
The falling rocks are really awful because you can't see them coming. But CatRelatedPun is now into the second minecart section, which means that they have...
CatRelatedPun is not happy about this, and specifically said there's more, and the answer is yes. There's more minecart. And I feel like we're gonna get even more anger after this minecart section because, I don't know if I want to spoil. Into the pit.
There's a lot of things to be angry about in this section, but they have another continue, so...
Yeah, unfortunately it takes you to the beginning of the first minecart section, so that's kind. Thank you very much.
Yeah, one of the things about the rocks that you have to learn is that you can hold brake on the minecart to slow yourself down, which I'm not sure why CatRelatedPun jumped there, but you can... Are they just giving up and starting over?
Who?
CatRelatedPun, they jumped out of the minecart 3 straight times.
They're probably just wanting to, like, start the game over. That's fair. Honestly, I don't know if that's a great idea this early on in the game. Like, it's not super early on, but, like, could be worse, I guess. Yeah, Bright Shadow's platforms are very distinct from what would normally have them as the first time you get to this area, so it was a little bit tricky for Bright Shadow to actually get farther down, but Bright Shadow managed to do it onto the minecart. Yeah, just fart at us a little bit and then start minecarting. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that, yeah, we are losing frames. I'm sorry, Comcast is being a bit of a patootie, but we'll go ahead and keep it going, and I do have a local recording just in case the Twitch recording ends up being atrocious. But hopefully you can at least continue to watch most of it if we have the occasional drop. All I can do is blame somebody else. That's my skill right now. Blame somebody else. Yeah.
Paul Kitsune says that they are having PTSD on this game.
It's not good. It's not good at all. Again, I prefer this over the Super Nintendo. No. I don't prefer this over anything. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Okay, I'm glad that I have different music, but just because I've never had... Justin brought me food. Yay, thank you, Justin. I've never heard the Genesis soundtrack, so it's... I'm not sure if it's better or worse. It's just different. And honestly, sometimes, like, you're in the torture chamber. They've been, like, they've really, really been going with the whip for a while. You just need something else, you know?
I
little
do have
change.
a question for Adventure. Have you actually seen the live action for this show?
No. Why would I watch that? No, I haven't.
It is the most bizarre thing because like it focuses on Boris and Natasha, and like you know how they always refer to Rocky and Bullwinkle as Moose and Squirrel?
Yeah.
Moose and Squirrel are American agents instead of being anthropomorphic animals. It is the weirdest live-action remake I've ever seen.
What? I mean, I know there was a CGI movie, but...
No, there is an actual live-action 80s or 90s movie called Boris and Natasha.
Interesting. Okay, I was gonna read the plot of this game, but I'd rather go look that up, because the plot is basically, hey, we have to make an excuse to have a video game. Let's go ahead and say that you're recovering artifacts from Rocky and Bullwinkle's history, because any child cares about that these days. Any child playing is going to recognize any of the references that we have. No, they're not going to, MisterZimbu. Unfortunately, that's one of the cases where you have to jump relatively early.
And out of the minecart and down into the pit again.
Are you serious? John Candy was in Boris and Natasha the movie? John Candy rocked. Oh my gosh. Okay, who was in it? We've got Sally Kellerman playing Natasha Fatal, and Dave Thomas playing Boris Badenov. Badenov? Oh, I get it, like bad enough. Okay. I'm not sure if I recognize either of them. I guess it looks like Sally Kellerman was in MASH back in the 70s. Heck yeah. And has been in a lot of stuff. So essentially, epic actor. Dave Thomas, on the other hand, as far as I can see, was a writer for The Blacklist. Trevor in Arrested Development, writer for Bones, was in the sucky movie Rat Race. Okay, cool.
I agree with Eneligan. It's the live action movie is bonkers. Like it is legitimately campy on purpose. And that kind of thing is so much fun.
I'm kind of fine with that. Okay, let me look, see if I can find a little bit more information. So essentially, the beginning of the plot. Oh, Ubi is saying Dave Thomas was in Strange Brew with Rick Moranis. Strange Brew is so good. A little weird, but pretty dang good.
I'm currently watching Third Tail because oh no, they just game over. They're back to the start of the mine section. I don't think they got further than CatRelatedPun in that section, second section.
Maybe not. Okay, so there we go. Bright Shadow. Can you make the jump to the right? You got it. Good. Now, upcoming will be one of the jumps that you got to jump over this explodey bomb, obviously. And then this is the jump to the right immediately. You do not want to hesitate too much, otherwise you will miss the minecart, because guess what? The hitbox isn't that big. And we're almost done with minecart section number 2, I believe.
This is minecart section number 1, actually, I think, for Bright Shadow.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Never mind, I lied. Minecart section number 2. CatRelatedPun is saying, does the game have lag issues, or is it just me? I think it's actually just you, like, CatRelatedPun. I don't recall the game
I kind of
having...
remember a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting... Comcast is here. Hello, Comcast. How you doing? I don't know if the game is even showing up for people at this point, but... this is the last match of the day. I do have a local recording going, so worst case scenario, we'll have it recorded here. Frustrating.
I think that Bright Shadow into first. I think that's the furthest we've gotten in the second minecart section. If they're still in the second, I think they are.
I'm glad. Okay, so apparently we're only losing some visual frames. Everybody's getting audio just fine, which is honestly all you need. Oh, we're getting like no frames through. We'll keep going, everybody. Like, I will have a live recording or a home recording for this, so there's nothing I can really do at this point. We'll wrap up. Oh, geez. Never mind. The internet might be completely down for me. Are you still there?
I still hear you. I still hear you, but you broke up for a short bit there. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you right now. Yeah, it went down to like 220 kilobits per second, so we'll see. I think we should, at the very least, finish this match out. It looks like thethirdtail stream is down. Let me go ahead and do some refreshes here.
They said they were paying attention to it now, so it looks like they got it back up.
Yep, they got it back up. We're doing good. Okay, stream is back up for me. Yeah. Everybody, I hope you like Rocky and Bullwinkle PowerPoints. They're very educational. JK. Like, if it doesn't have the music, it's even better.
Okay, Bright Shadow's back into the second part of the minecart section. They had game over and gone back to the first part. Yeah, those rocks falling are just the worst because there is so little time to react, and then if you slow down too much, you catch them on the rebound.
Okay, last time I'm going to say this, and then we're going to go ahead and focus on the match. Internet issues are happening, and if they continue like this, I will have a local recording, and we will go ahead and upload that instead of the Twitch bod. The Twitch bod. Oh, baby, do you have a Twitch bod? I do. We would upload the Twitch bod. JK, the local recording to YouTube. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I just want to sleep.
I am hoping that some of our match members at least reach the boss, because trying to keep track of this minecart section is turning out to
We're only 36 minutes in. We're gonna see the boss. Yeah, don't worry. Don't sweat it.
That's my hope.
Yeah. Anyway, let me actually read a little bit of this plot for all of you. What's the matter you? Wasamata-U. That is the name of the university, Wasamata-U. Our story begins at the celebrated opening of the Rocky and Bullwinkle Museum in beautiful downtown Frostbite Falls, where a mystery is brewing. The fabled treasures Rocky and Bullwinkle have collected on their many exploits have been purloined by those Pottsylvanian super spies and all-around no-goodniks Boris Badanov and Natasha Fatal. Now it's up to the dynamic Moose and Squirrel to once again find their incredible valuables. Join Bullwinkle as he attempts to scale his way up to the treacherous Tucka Peak. I definitely am missing the joke there. Delves deep into the dark depths of the gravity-defying Upside-Daisium mines and even explores the belly of the mechanical whale, Maybe Dick. You can't change Moby Dick into Maybe Dick these times. That just is not fine. Nope. There was the boss for Bright Shadow, but unfortunately that is a game over. Is it back to the beginning? Yes! The beginning of the minecart section. At this point, I cry, but that's fine. Rocky picks up the action in the tough waterfront docks, mean city streets, and chamber of horrors of that spy capital of the world, Pennsylvania. Throughout, our heroes have to stay on their toes to nab those bomb-throwing bad guys and other assorted nasties in order to bring back the loot. So that is essentially what we're doing. Bad guys stole stuff. We got to get stuff. At the end of each collection of stages, like here, after the boss, you do collect one of the artifacts, which, again, if you've seen all of the show, you probably know the references here. And if you were a child who was watching the show, maybe you do and maybe you don't. Because there were a lot of episodes. It's just like the Simpsons games. Like, all of the old school Simpsons games had lots of references. Third tail onto what they believe is the third section of the minecart, which is just a very short stretch to the boss.
Yeah, so third tail is now in first.
No, Bright Shadow's already been there. They're in second.
Oh, Bright Shadow got to the boss?
Yeah, Bright Shadow was fighting the boss.
Okay, then they're in second. I missed that part then.
Haha! I actually paid attention for once. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, it's just two aliens. Kill both aliens and you're through. Good job. G heckin' G. You killed the aliens. Now the government doesn't have to do it. They're just using you. They make you think it's a Russian conspiracy? No! No!
Okay, now third tail's in first because they beat the boss. So now we have the semi-escort mission.
It's more just don't let Rocky get too far ahead, otherwise you will lose mission. Yeah.
Yeah, your escort can't take damage. You basically just have to make sure you don't get too far away from your ride.
See, it's like a reverse escort mission. Technically, they're escorting you. And honestly, that's fair. You need it. You are Bullwinkle. You're not exactly the brains of the operation here.
I don't think he's the brawn of the operation either.
I don't think he's not much of the operation. He's here. He's operating, baby. It's like, you know, if you're in the post-apocalyptic world and you've got to have an operation, you just get whoever can, like, stomach it, you know? And hopefully you don't die, but honestly, risking it is better than nothing. That's how Bullwinkle is, you know. He's just like the last resort. CatRelatedPun fighting the boss as well. Very nice. The fortunate thing is that it does continuously give you more ammunition so that you technically will not run out. You will always be able to replenish your stock of... Let me check the manual and see what these are called. The berries. Okay. They are technically... Okay, A button. Mooseberries. I told you, mooseberries. Yep. A pun off of gooseberries because mooseberries don't exist. Not even a good pun. It's just mooseberries.
All right, and that is CatRelatedPun out of stage one.
Perfect. Bright Shadow is onto the boss as well, by the way. And Bright Shadow actually I don't believe has gotten a game over during these attempts. Just kill the boss, don't die. Oh, no! Well, that is one game over. Gonna have to do the whole minecart set. No, that's a full. Oh, no. Well, everybody shed a tear for brightshadow. He'll be able to get back there, though. Like, honestly, it doesn't take too long. Once you know how to get past all of the earlier crap, like, you have to get good at playing the game. That's the only bad thing, but CatRelatedPun, what the crap? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that is total rude. BS.
That is absolutely rude. I am getting a lot of stuff in the match room that the players are not happy with my game choice.
thethirdtail did exactly the same thing! Just, okay, you cannot walk off the boat onto the barrel. No, you have to jump off the boat onto the barrel.
Yeah. Because, you know, why would you be able to walk off onto a barrel that's literally right next to the boat? But that's still a solid second place for CatRelated.
Yeah, CatRelatedPun is typing in Discord that I want to complain, but I don't want to spoil people. I was going to say it happened to somebody else just right after as well, but no, I can't say that in the Discord. That would tell people how close they are to each other. I don't want to spoil. No, this is a match where people do not get to watch each other. They do not get to know how far the other players are unless others reveal it voluntarily in the Discord. But my heart. MisterZimbu is saying that the ducking sprite makes this game. Maybe the ducking sprite inside the minecart. Ducking in... Oh no, MisterZimbu.
I think MisterZimbu is the only one who has not seen the boss, correct?
I think so, as far as I know, yeah. CatRelatedPun and thethirdtail have made it to the second collection of stages. brightshadow has made it to the boss.
For thethirdtail.
Honestly, that's for the best. Just game over. That's actually a blessing.
I think we're gonna see the last pushes for these players in this run. Just moving through sections, some of them just take so much time.
It's true. Oh no. There's a page of the manual that says, whose life is it anyway? And let me just say that that was before Whose Line existed. They were ahead of their time, and I hate them for it. Bad. Okay. It shows at the top of the game, it shows you both Rocky and Bullwinkle. However, only Bullwinkle is filled in. Why do they waste like a large chunk of the HUD with an outline of Rocky to give you hope that you'll ever actually be able to play as him? But guess what? That's only like during the second half of the game. We're not getting there.
Yeah,
we're not getting there. And not even last half, it's like the last third, maybe the last quarter of the game. Like, most of the game's Bullwinkle.
I did love one of the players pointing out from the manual that when they reference Boris on the mountainside, they refer to him as poorly disguised bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, I would barely disguised, honestly. Like, how can you call it a disguise if you're just hiding behind a wall? That's not a disguise. You're hiding behind a wall, and you're still wearing your same clothes.
He's in later.
Oh, that's right. He shows up in the first stage. I didn't even realize that was him. Like, the sprite is so bad. I thought it was just some very angry guy in Lederhosen. I guess it fooled me. Well, okay. Everybody, all you have to do is wear a German costume and bam, I'm clueless.
Oh, that is so mean. That any jump that is not you going forward when you jump and you're out of the minecart and dead. Because MisterZimbu just died there, and it was like, that is just rude.
Oh, I've
I
played
hate
this
the
game a
minecart
lot. I
section
know.
so much.
Yeah, like, I do think that this is probably worse than Cutthroat Islands. Like, Cutthroat Islands, we've seen people play the minecart section for almost a full hour. I'd still rather play that than this.
Yeah, I agree. I would rather play than that because everything. Oh, one of the things about the Cutthroat Island one is that everything is coming from one direction. This, it can come from above, it can come from below. You're having to figure out when you need to jump out of your minecart, when you have to duck, when you have to slow down. I mean, there's so much going on, and the obstacles sometimes can hit you in two different ways. It is such an obnoxious section.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe you can actually just jump out of your minecart. Oh,
CatRelatedPun!
Oh!
The hidden alien at the end! It got you!
Oh, that is so. You were talking about that before. That's just so mean.
No, I knew it was gonna get someone. See, I told you, every single time we have this match, somebody gets aliened.
Yeah, sadly I won't be around for next weekend to watch. I'm gonna be out of town for my birthday, so
Next weekend?
This week.
Happy birthday!
Yeah.
We're not having Kuso next weekend. It's GDQ.
Oh.
Well, we
I thought you
might
were having it on
Sunday.
Sunday.
I don't know. Nobody tells me what's going on around here. I just show up because they make me.
Yeah, my birthday is Tuesday this week, so we're going out of town. We're going down to St. George for a few days.
Aha! St. George, named after the famous guy who killed a dragon. Yeah. I was in a musical when I was in middle school called Hey George, and honestly, I shouldn't have been in any of the musicals. They all sucked, but it was fun at the time. I still remember some of the song. Oh my gosh. Hey George, what would you do when you saw that dragon? Da, 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 da. Yeah, it was.
I actually have never heard that before.
Well, that's because it's a middle school musical. Nobody's ever heard any of the musicals that were done for middle school. No. As soon as you get to junior high and high school, then sure, those musicals are a little bit more familiar. High school for sure.
I really like musicals. I got my wife season tickets to our theater that's nearby.
Ooh.
For Hale Center. So.
Oh yeah, they have really good performances.
I've been going there since when I was a kid, when my mother would take me to them, and I just love them. There's my favorite one though. I've only ever seen once.
Which one?
I love Brigadoon. I love Brigadoon.
I've never seen Brigadoon.
It's really good. You should see it sometime. It's a very good play.
Cool. You said play. It's a musical. Yeah.
Means bold.
No, I approve. Just like okay, everybody, this might be controversial, but I call movies, sometimes I'm willing to call a movie a show. Why? Because it shows on the screen.
Yeah.
You're going to the shows.
One of the two we want to take our kids to is they're doing Newsies again, and I really enjoyed Newsies.
I feel like Newsies is liked way too much in Utah for some reason.
I really liked the movie. Like I thought.
It was good. It's just like I don't know what it is about Newsies. It just seems like way popular in Utah, and I don't understand why.
But the other one that they're going to take my kids to, I gave my ticket to my mother because I have no desire to see the play of the movie. Because they're doing Elf, and I just don't like that movie at all.
Somebody in chat is saying that a show would be only in the movie theater. Okay, so what is your favorite non-show that you see on TV? Oh, wait, they're all shows, huh? If a TV show is a show, why isn't a movie watched at home a show? It's a show, it's showing. It's showing on your TV. It says now showing in theaters, well, it can also show at home.
Yeah, Bright Shadow is on the water level now. So
yeah, this is a nightmare.
I believe they have moved into second. I think they got past the first barrel.
CatRelatedPun and ThirdTail have both made it a decent way through this stage.
I thought CatRelatedPun died on the first barrel. They slipped through it.
Well, they had a few lives in here, so yeah, I think they died on the first level, but also went past it.
Huh.
Yeah, this is gonna be a VOD review to make sure. Oh, there's my husband in chat saying movies aren't shows. Yeah, they are. Movies are shows, and TV shows are shows. If it shows, it's a show. Do you say, let me movie you something? No, let me show you something. Come on. Wait. Justin is saying movies aren't shows? Movies are totally shows. Why do they say now showing in theaters? Because it's a show. They show it. Hmm?
So Bright Shadow ran into the problems. They lost where their ride was. Yeah, but I agree with you. I think we're gonna have to get to a VOD review on where people got in this stage. Oh, and Bright Shadow had the same problem too. They tried to walk off and fell right.
We have had 3 out of 4 players do that. I don't think I've ever seen that happen, but again, we've always had the Super Nintendo version. They're extremely similar, like basically identical from what I'm seeing, but perhaps there's a small difference in some of the physics. Like you said, you said that you felt a little bit lag in the game, and I don't recall that in the Super Nintendo version at all. Maybe this is the inferior port? Or just, I don't know, that's hard to say that like one port is inferior to another because I hate them both. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's the deal. Kefka in chat is saying that I have a point when I go to arguing semantics. Well, let me just say, I am arguing that you can go ahead and call them what you want. That's arguing that I'm not picky. You can call a movie a show. It's fine. Locally, we call them shows, and it's okay, because that's what we call them. We also call them movies. Yeah, as it turns out, no. Everything in Utah is wrong. Nah.
Okay, I am probably gonna have to go back to the VOD to see where the third tail got, but I do not believe the third tail got here, where Bright Shadow is right now.
I do not think we've seen the metal barrel. That looks like it is new progress.
Yeah, so I think that puts Bright Shadow into first, because I have not seen either Third Tail or CatRelatedPun get there. If someone has been keeping attention and can correct me on that, but I don't believe either Third Tail or CatRelatedPun got to Natasha.
Yeah, luckily we do have people who are a little bit better at keeping track than I am, so...
Or me. I've not been great tracking this match.
Yeah, and I hate this game. I mean, that doesn't mean I shouldn't do my job. Is it my job? Kind of my job. Sort of somewhat. Tangentially, it's my job. if I know the game, it's my job. And unfortunately, I know this game. I've been slacking. I just can't believe... Well, thethirdtail is into this stage as well, making a decent push. brightshadow and thethirdtail, you know, right now, I think those two are the most likely to come in first and second. CatRelatedPun did make a good push through the stage as well, although I don't know how far CatRelatedPun made it. thethirdtail, though, where is your boat? Oh, there it is. There's Rocky. The thing, like, the risky thing here is that, like, thethirdtail has not been killing that fish. The fish is dead now. thethirdtail did something very risky, which was just drop down onto the barrel and move, like, adjust a little bit to the right, because if you had landed on the boat, or on the boat rather than the barrel, and adjusted slightly to the right, you would have fallen through the barrel and died. Yeah, luckily that didn't happen, but I'm just saying, like, the instinct was to just do a little movement to the right, and that could have been fatal. Oh, there we go, the Natasha barrel here. I saw this on brightshadow screen. Let's see. thethirdtail getting Rocky past the first metal barrel. I believe that is a move into first by thethirdtail.
Yep, so I think our places are thethirdtail first, brightshadow second so far.
At this point, yeah, there could be a little bit of a swap, though, depending on how brightshadow does and if thethirdtail accidentally messes something up. Like, it's enough of a lead for thethirdtail that I don't think it's going to change. Like, this is huge.
Yeah, I think unless thethirdtail dies and brightshadow can make enough progress in 1 minute, it's gonna be set. But this is really close.
I hate the mice in this section. You can kill them.
I don't know where we'd be if we had another 10 minutes, honestly. This is that close. Like, if it was 10 minutes more, we might have a different outcome.
Oh, like, very likely we'd have a different outcome. But welcome to Kusog7ande. The matches are an hour long. Everybody has been very close. Like, nobody should feel bad about losing this one. It's been a very close match. And here we go. I get to stop the music, everybody, unless you want to hear more of it. Huh? You want to hear more? Well, too bad. I lied. I'm not going to let you have that satisfaction. Destroying me? Destroying my soul? No, that's time. We're done. I didn't realize we were that close. We're done.
I believe that was thethirdtail that won, correct?
Oh,
were you in agreement there?
As far as I can tell, the thethirdtail took the victory. If you'd like, go ahead and welcome them into the general chat so that we can talk to them. I believe brightshadow took second, CatRelatedPun third, and MisterZimbu fourth. If there is a clarification later about places, we will shift those around. What I say right here is not binding. However, it is based off of what we saw and what we understand about the match here. This, holy crap, what an amazing watch. With that said, 2 people are getting completely eliminated from the tournament. Everybody, though, put a really good show on and seriously should be happy about how they did. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and invite brightshadow then. If brightshadow wishes to come and chat, I would love to hear some opinions about this game that I have a lot of emotions about, and I have a lot of hatred for this game. A lot of hatred, but yeah, MisterZimbu, I think this is the only person we can confidently 100% say is out of the tournament due to Rocky and Bullwinkle. CatRelatedPun is probably out, but I'm not 100% sure. brightshadow, congratulations, we're about 95% sure you took second place.
Congratulations.
I'm a little bit scared about what you're gonna say. I feel like you're trying. Are you okay? Did this hurt you? Do you need help? I'm still not hearing you. I'm seeing your mic light up, but I'm not hearing you. I'm just hearing Lester the Unlikely, which is also good. Like, better than Rocky and Bullwinkle. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. But yeah, if you need to fiddle around with your microphone, go ahead for a second. I'll just go ahead and
Do I have
sing.
a microphone now?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
There's always something wrong with it.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
I checked both mutes, and the third thing was what was wrong. The secret third thing.
The
just for
third
confirmation, CatRelatedPun says that they did not see Natasha on the water.
Yeah, I sunk her
in that area. So, and the third tail got further than where brightshadow did. So I'm pretty sure we've got the correct order.
How close was I, out of curiosity?
What? What the crap?
You.
Oh yeah. You're right.
We're decently close. Third tail got on his last push, got further than you did. Well, from where you died. So that was incredible. No, you, Third Tail and CatRelatedPun all got in that stage.
Yeah.
You two saw Natasha on the water. CatRelatedPun did not, and Third Tail got just further than you did.
Yeah, just so you know, everybody.
When I drowned myself on the Natasha the first time, I was very mad.
Just so you know, everybody, we do know that we've been getting Comcasted. I do have a local recording. Don't worry, we'll have this. We'll do a short post-game interview. What was the worst thing about this game? And I know, like, there's a lot that you could talk about. So feel free to go ahead and just, like, unleash. I will be your post-game therapist. I'm not licensed, but yeah, whatever. Let's do this thing.
So before the match started, when the game got called out, I can't remember what somebody said, but Tymestalker said something about the game, and it immediately made me think, I'm going to fall in holes and die over and over and over. That's what this game is.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely correct.
Yeah. Like, I know the platforming in this game, like, they just needed to make it not a whole lot more forgiving, but enough that, like, if you're trying to jump on something, you actually can, because there's so many times where it just feels like you should have made that jump. You should have made that jump, and if you didn't, it's not your fault. It is bad game. Bad game. Go back home. You don't get a treat.
Jumps on the mine.
Yeah,
those were very stupid.
They're not blind jumps. They're just not very visible jumps.
I mean,
the thing
a couple of them you were just sort of like fall down and hope.
Yeah, if you didn't wait for a very long time, then yes, you are correct. I mean,
and then walking off the boat with the barrels or Natasha in front, dumping you in the water. That's also great game design.
I feel like the Super Nintendo version doesn't do that, but the Genesis version does. I'm not saying I'd rather play the Super Nintendo version, but I'm just thinking it might be version specific.
I bet it sucks too, though.
What's great is that, like, I was watching you towards the... I think it was you towards the end that you landed on the boat, or no, you landed on the barrel and slightly adjusted to the right, and I was like, if you were just a few pixels to the left, it would have counted with you being on the boat, and you would have died right there, trying to adjust on the barrel. And, like, I was like, you are so risky, just pushing right a little bit. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. You didn't die that time, thank goodness. Yeah.
I died enough times.
By the way, you didn't get to the worst parts of the game. It gets worse.
Terrifying.
I still say that minecart section, though, is the worst minecart section I have ever dealt with.
I mean, at least it telegraphs on those falls where you're supposed to jump. If it didn't do that, then I would have been mad at the game the whole time.
It just, like, it's not straightforward the first time you get there.
You have to look at the roof of the passage that opens up. The first jump, I didn't catch that, but the second time, I was like, oh, I see how it's trying to tell me what's coming.
The worst part for me were the falling stones. Because not only can they hit you when they fall, but they bounce, and so they can hit you on the second time through.
And if you wait, a really long time, they bounce lower and lower.
Oh, yeah. I think, maybe. I don't know. Anyways.
I tried slowing way down and it bounced down to like head level, and I was like, oh, that was not a good idea.
So you are definitely getting hit if that happens. Okay, that's not good.
You have 2 safe bounces, and after that, you're just gonna get hit.
Yeah. So
it aggressively mean.
there's one part that it's not a climb, but you have to stand on a moving platform that goes up. However, the way that the platform works is that it continuously shifts your sprite a little bit to the left. So as it's moving up, you have to continuously keep adjusting to not fall off of it. Meanwhile, things come out of the wall to try to hit you and deal damage. I think that part alone took me about 40 minutes. And it was just like a maybe 3 or 4 screen vertical section. And then there's the whole skull platforming section. Oh yeah, you didn't even get to play as Rocky. That happens later on. Yeah. I'd say you were probably about maybe 2/3 of the way through the Bullwinkle stages. Yeah. Anyways.
So much like the stages, the game goes on forever.
Oh, yeah. So, any thoughts? Any desire to return to this game ever again?
Absolutely not.
Perfect. We've done our job here. That's the Kusog7ande experience. Well, thank you so much for playing, and congratulations on how you did. You are probably going to have enough points to be in the tiebreaker if we have a tiebreaker, if we don't have 32 people who make it to the 30-point stage, which I think at this point we are having a tiebreaker. But again, we'll see. I'm
better than I did the last time I was in.
Heck yeah, that's always exciting. With that said, let's go ahead and raid Games Done Quick. I want everybody to know, again, tomorrow morning at 4:30 a.m. Eastern, Sharfers is playing Axe Battler, The Legend of Golden Axe. I will definitely be watching that. Also, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Awful Block over at GDQ. We definitely want to go and represent because Awful games are... Awful Block is best block. Let's actually raid with that message. I would love to do that. Awful Block is best block. And let's see if they get angry about that. They better not. Awful Block is best block. I'll see you all later. Thank you again, brightshadow and Tymestalker.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks.
Have a good night. And Comcast, you can go and eat rocks. Yeah, hate you, Comcast. Where's the raid button? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. See ya.